Let's start with what happened in the ring. After 8 full rounds, the judges scored the fight unanimously in Jake Paul's favor. Judge David Yabuchi scored it 80 to 72, while Lawrence Cole and Jesse Reyes gave it 79 to 73. The decision shocked many fans, as they expected Tyson's power and experience to overwhelm the much younger Paul. Tyson, at 58 years old, looked phenomenal for his age. His physique alone was enough to intimidate even Jake Paul, who admitted as much in a pre-fight interview. But as the fight progressed, it became clear that Tyson's speed and stamina weren't what they used to be. Paul, on the other hand, leaned heavily on his strategy, footwork, and younger reflexes to outscore Tyson. The lead-up to this fight was filled with tension, hype, and bold claims. Jake Paul referred to himself as a disruptor in boxing, promising to become the sport's new face. Meanwhile, Tyson hinted at a potential full comeback to professional boxing, telling Mail Online that he was taking things one fight at a time, but wouldn't rule out future bouts with stars like Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk, even Tyson Fury. These statements added to the anticipation, making fans believe this fight was about more than just entertainment, it was about legacy. Tyson even received a visit from Gene Kilroy, Muhammad Ali's legendary manager, who remarked that he'd never seen Tyson in such remarkable shape.
This is the strongest I've ever seen you.
Yeah?
Yeah, the strongest I've ever, and I know you since you're 13. I think this impressed the shit out of me. Nothing impresses me. You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't lie. I was worried about him traveling here, traveling there. He's not getting, I can sleep now at night. This is great.
Despite this, the fight left many questioning whether the build-up was more about selling tickets than delivering a competitive match. The reactions to this fight have been intense. Social media exploded with mixed opinions as fans and analysts weighed in on what they witnessed. Some fans were left heartbroken, saying it felt wrong to see a legend like Tyson outboxed by someone as polarizing as Jake Paul.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel bad watching this fight. It just doesn't feel right. Like, it feels bad, man.
One comment that resonated across platforms read, "It just doesn't feel right, man. Watching this fight felt bad." Others, however, praised Jake Paul for stepping into the ring with one of the sport's most iconic figures and holding his own. They argued that Paul's win wasn't just about youth but about strategy and preparation. Still, for many purists, the fight felt like a manufactured spectacle rather than a genuine contest. Mike Tyson didn't mince words in the aftermath. During an episode of Countdown, he addressed the fundamental differences between himself and Jake Paul, stating, "There's a fundamental difference between me and Jake. He's a manufactured killer television and papers made him a killer. I was born into it." Tyson's frustration was evident, but he also showed moments of humility, acknowledging that age and time are undefeated opponents. Despite the loss, Tyson remained proud of his journey, emphasizing that his return to the ring was about personal growth and proving to himself that he could still compete. Jake Paul, ever the showman, was quick to celebrate his victory. He claimed this win was another step towards cementing his place in boxing history, calling himself the face of boxing in post-fight interviews. Paul also acknowledged Tyson's legendary status, saying, "Mike Tyson is a legend. Sharing the ring with him is an honor, and I'll never forget it."
First and foremost, he's the GOAT. I look up to him. I'm inspired by him, and we wouldn't be here today without him. This man is an icon, and it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet.
However, critics argue that Paul's win says more about Tyson's age than his own skill, reigniting debates about whether these influencer-driven fights are good for the sport. This fight raises broader questions about the direction of boxing. On one hand, events like this bring massive attention and new audiences to the sport. Jake Paul's ability to draw millions of pay-per-view buys is undeniable, and his fights have introduced boxing to younger generations. On the other hand, purists argue that these fights blur the line between competition and entertainment, potentially overshadowing the sport's rich history and technical brilliance. With legends like Tyson stepping into the ring for what many view as glorified exhibitions, the integrity of boxing is being hotly debated. For Tyson, this fight wasn't just about winning or losing, it was about proving something to himself.
Mike, if you can respond to that as well, congratulations on a very strong performance. Are you happy with what you did out there tonight?
Absolutely happy, yes.
Do you feel like you proved the world wrong, that you could at least go 8 rounds with a younger man?
I didn't prove nothing to anybody, only to myself. I'm not one of those guys that look to please the world. I'm just happy with what I can do.
Broadcast team was debating what you were doing with your glove. Was it a mouthpiece issue or were you just biting on your glove? What was that? Could you tell us?
Oh, I have a habit of biting my gloves when I fight, yes.
Why do you do that?
Biting fixation.
I've heard about that.
Fans who followed his journey know that Tyson's battles extend far beyond the ring. From his troubled youth to his personal demons and eventual redemption, Tyson's story is one of resilience. While this fight adds a complicated chapter to his legacy, it doesn't diminish the impact he's had on the sport. Tyson remains a cultural icon, and his willingness to step back into the ring at 58 is a testament to his indomitable spirit. Now, the big question is, what's next?
Could I ask, do you want to do this again or are you officially done now?
I don't know. It depends on the situation.
Who comes to mind?
Well, I don't know. Maybe brother.
You want to fight Logan? Logan might be next.
Motherfucker, I'll kill you, Mike.
No.
For Jake Paul, this win opens the door to even bigger opportunities. He's hinted at potential bouts with other legends and even current champions.
Trevante Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. I'll be super down.
Further solidifying his presence in the sport. For Tyson, the future is less clear. While he's mentioned the possibility of a full comeback, many fans and experts believe it's time for him to hang up the gloves for good. Tyson's health and legacy are far more valuable than any potential payday, and many hope he'll focus on mentoring the next generation of fighters rather than risking further damage in the ring.